Have you ever wondered what would happen if a city was built not by architects or planners, but from the very essence of a single, powerful mind? What if this mind was that of Alma Wade, one of the most formidable and tragic figures in gaming history? Imagine a metropolis, a sprawling urban landscape for 500,000 souls, all sculpted by her reality-bending will. This isn't just a thought experiment, it's a deep dive into the architecture of a nightmare. A city forged from pain, power, and a desperate yearning for connection. Welcome to Alma's City. To understand this city, we must first understand its creator. Alma Wade wasn't born a monster, she was made one. Gifted with immense psychic power from birth, she became a subject of the horrifying Project Paragon by our Mochum Technology Corporation. Isolated, experimented on, and ultimately betrayed, her life was a relentless cycle of suffering. Her consciousness, however, could not be contained. It fractured, expanded, and learned to reshape the world around her. Her city wouldn't be built of concrete and steel, but of memory, emotion, and psychic energy. The city limits wouldn't be marked by signs, but by a palpable shift in reality. As you approach, the sky might bleed into a perpetual, unsettling twilight, the color of a fading bruise. The air would grow heavy, thick with unspoken sorrows and a low, psychic hum that resonates deep in your bones. The very laws of physics would begin to fray at the edges. This is the threshold, the point of no return, where you leave the known world and enter Alma's domain. Let's walk through the downtown core, the heart of this psychic metropolis. The skyscrapers here wouldn't be sleek glass towers reaching for the sun. Instead, they would be jagged, monolithic structures of obsidian-like material, twisting towards the crimson sky like grasping fingers. Their surfaces would shimmer, not with reflected light, but with fleeting images from Alma's memories, sterile laboratory rooms. The face of a frightened child, moments of unimaginable pain. These aren't just buildings, they are monuments to her trauma, broadcasting her history for all to see. The streets below would be perpetually slick, as if after a rain that never seems to end, reflecting the distorted skyline like a shattered mirror. The 500,000 inhabitants of this city wouldn't be ordinary people. They would be psychic constructs, echoes, or individuals drawn in and reshaped by Alma's influence. They'd move through their daily routines in a dreamlike state, their thoughts and desires subtly guided by their creator. A businessman on his way to a meeting might suddenly be overwhelmed by a phantom memory of a needle-piercing skin. A child playing in a park might momentarily see the world through the eyes of a lonely girl, locked in a vault. Their lives would be intertwined with Alma's, their emotions a symphony conducted by her will. They are the living embodiment of her desperate need for a family, for a community she was never allowed to have. What about the residential areas? Forget picket fences and suburban bliss. The neighborhoods would be sprawling, labyrinthine complexes that defy Euclidean geometry. Hallways might stretch into infinity, doors could open into different parts of the city, or worse, directly into a raw, unfiltered memory from Alma's past. A cozy living room could suddenly transform into the cold, sterile chamber where she gave birth. These homes would be both a sanctuary and a prison, reflecting Alma's dual nature as both a protective mother and a vengeful spirit. The residents would learn to navigate this shifting architecture not with maps, but with instinct and a deep, empathetic connection to Alma's emotional state. Public transportation wouldn't rely on subways or buses. Instead, travel would be a psychic phenomenon. You might simply think of your destination, and the world would warp around you. A street corner folding in on itself to deliver you instantly. Or perhaps shadowy, silent apparitions, much like the replica soldiers she controlled, would act as silent chauffeurs, guiding citizens through the ever-changing cityscapes. This form of travel is efficient, but also deeply unsettling, a constant reminder that your every move is monitored and facilitated by an omnipresent, all-powerful force. Where would people gather? The city's Central Park wouldn't be a place of green grass and sunshine. It would be a petrified forest of blackened, skeletal trees under a sky perpetually lit by a pale, ghostly moon. A blood-red river, symbolizing her life force and her rage, would snake through this landscape. Yet, in the center of this desolation, you might find a single, beautiful swing set, rocking gently on its own. It's a poignant symbol of her lost childhood, a small island of innocence in an ocean of sorrow. This is where the city's inhabitants would come to feel closest to her, to understand the core of her being. The city's infrastructure, its power grid and communication networks, would be entirely psychic. Information wouldn't travel through fiber optics, but through a telepathic web connecting every mind within the city to Alma's. There would be no secrets here. Every thought, every fear, every joy would be an open book. This creates a strange paradox, a city of 500,000 people experiencing a profound, unprecedented level of community and shared consciousness. But at the complete loss of individual privacy and free will. It's the ultimate collective, born from the ultimate isolation. What happens when Alma gets angry? The city would react violently. The sky would crackle with red lightning. Buildings would groan and twist, their surfaces rippling with rage. The ground would shake, not from tectonic plates, but from a psychic tremor. The echoes of her screams would reverberate through every street and alleyway. During these times, the inhabitants would huddle in their shifting homes, sharing in her fury, their own anxieties amplifying her power in a terrifying feedback loop. The city isn't just her creation, it's an extension of her nervous system. But what about moments of peace? Are there any? Yes, but they are fragile and fleeting. In these rare moments, the perpetual twilight might soften. A faint, melodic humming, like a lullaby, might drift through the air. The harsh angles of the architecture might seem less severe. In these moments, you'd feel not her rage, but her deep, profound loneliness and her yearning for love. You'd understand that this entire, terrifying reality is, at its heart, the creation of a lost child desperately trying to build a home, to build the family she was stolen from. This city, for all its horror, is an act of love, a twisted, broken, possessive love, but love nonetheless. Ultimately, living in Alma's city would be a constant, waking dream. A world governed not by logic, but by the raw, untamed power of emotion. It's a testament to the idea that our internal landscapes, our traumas, and our desires have the power to shape the world around us. For Alma Wade, a being of immense power and immense suffering, her city for 500,000 people would be the ultimate expression of her soul, a beautiful, terrifying, and deeply tragic masterpiece. Thank you so much for joining me on this architectural tour of a psychic nightmare. What other video game worlds would you like to see explored in this way? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the mind of Alma Wade, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite games. We'll see you in the next one.